So there's a lot of talk about motivational interviewing these days, and I thought I would just give a quick rundown of some of the basic skills that we use in motivational interviewing that will hopefully help you have better conversations with people and maybe even have better conversations about how to help people change. So the basic fundamental skills of motivational interviewing are known as OARS skills. And I think it's a very proper acronym because you think about navigating change in your life. You think about navigating a conversation with someone who maybe isn't really excited about change or doesn't feel like they can change. It's helpful to have some tools, some skills to kind of row down the river together, so to speak. So let's talk about the 4 basic skills of motivational interviewing. We have open-ended questions, affirmations, reflections, and summaries. And these are all meant to help guide the conversation. So what is an open question? An open question is basically what it sounds like, right? It's a question that leads to something. It's open, it's expansive, it expands the conversation. So for example, if I were to ask an open question, it would be something like, what was the best thing about that experience for you? Now, on the other hand, we have a close-ended question, which isn't totally off limits in MI. It can be helpful to clarify things. But a closed question would be something like, did you enjoy that experience? So on one hand, we have, what was the best thing about that experience versus, did you enjoy that experience? The next tool or skill in the OARS acronym is known as affirmations. And affirmations are really a way to build someone up. And we have both simple and complex affirmations. So a simple affirmation basically just affirms the action step that someone took. So for example, if I go out and I work on my truck and I get it done and I come back inside and tell my wife, hey, I finally got that thing done on my truck. She would say, oh, you great job of getting that project done, or it's great that you accomplished that. Good job. That's basically a simple affirmation, right? It affirms the action step of, oh, you got your project done. It doesn't really affirm the person, and we can take this even deeper into more complexity by using a complex affirmation. A complex affirmation is something like, wow, you really, used a lot of persistence. You really tuned into your persistence in getting that project done. Or it took a lot of courage for you to take all those parts out of your truck and have the trust in yourself to be able to put them back together without, really messing something up. So a complex affirmation affirms the character strength that is inherent to that person. It's not about the action step. It's not about the doing aspect of that person. It's about the being aspect of that person. So they're being someone who is courageous, or someone who is adaptable, or someone who is determined. Those are 2 different forms of affirmations. The third OARS skill is known as reflections. And we think of this as a mirror. Whenever we're going through something in life, it's helpful to have a mirror to look into. And this is the beauty of motivational interviewing, is it gives us a mirror. When the practitioner is working with a client, they are the mirror that helps the person see more clearly. So they're kind of a pool in which to reflect, as the MI prayer would say. So there are also different levels of complexity with reflections. There's many different types of reflections, but basically there is a simple reflection and a complex reflection. A simple reflection is one that basically just paraphrases what someone said. So if I said, for example, I am really struggling right now with stress. It's really tending to burn me out lately. I'm just getting very stressed out over all the things that are going on in my life. And a simple reflection would be something like, it sounds like you're having a really hard time handling stress right now, and the circumstances of life are really making things difficult for you. Now, if we want to add some complexity to that, we take it a little bit of a step further, and we affirm something that we kind of intuitively feel about this situation. So for example, in the situation where a client talks about stress and they say something like, I'm just having a hard time handling life right now. It's so stressful for me. You might say something like, it would really benefit you a lot to have better reactions to stress. When you're feeling that load or that weight on top of you, it'd really be nice to have some tools or some things you could go to that would help you mitigate that stress. So the client didn't say that in so many words, but I'm kind of taking a leap here and thinking, well, I would imagine if I were in that situation, it'd be nice to have some coping skills, some tools to handle the stress that I'm going through. So that adds a little bit of complexity to it, and we can go even further than that in many ways. But that's kind of a basic example. Simple reflection reflects, basically paraphrases or parrots what was said, and a complex reflection takes a little bit of a guess as to the meaning, the deeper meaning behind it, and seeks to reflect that, or at least get the client to start talking about it. The thing about reflections is they don't have to be 100% accurate, right? You might reflect something and the client comes back and says, no, it's not really that I really need coping skills for it. It's just that I wish I could just eliminate some of these unnecessary things from my life. I feel like I have too many things that are just not important to me that I spend a lot of time doing every day. So there you have something to work with, and you can start exploring what those things are that don't add value or meaning to that person's life. Next are the summaries, and this is a great way to just encapsulate everything that was said. So this is very helpful for bookending a conversation. So if you have a coaching session that's 20 or 30 minutes long, in the beginning, you might start with a summary of what was talked about last time. So last time we spoke, there was a lot of movement towards kind of building a repertoire of things to help you calm your nervous system down, and you wanted to really explore deep breathing as a way to do that. Would you like to continue talking about that, or is there something more important for us to explore today? So that'd be a summary at the very beginning of that conversation. And then at the end, let's say we talk through it and they say, well, I'd really like to explore Wim Hof breathing as a way to calm my nervous system down. I've heard some great things about its benefits for the immune system and stress regulation and all this kind of stuff. I'd really like to explore that. So you might bookend with that summary and say, today we really explored the great things that will come for you if you're able to get your stress managed. And one thing you wanted to really work on that will help you with that is to develop a routine, using this Wim Hof breathing to do that. And you feel like doing that first thing in the morning will really set you up for success for the day. Does that sound accurate to you? So that's a summary that bookends on the other end on the ending point of the coaching session. Another way to use summaries, and I find this to be very helpful in coaching people with chronic pain, when people are really in a fight or flight, stressed out state, they tend to talk a lot and talk very rapidly. And I know for me, it can be overwhelming. For a lot of coaches, it's overwhelming not knowing how to kind of interject something or get a word in edgewise. And so a summary is a great way to respectfully sort of create a pause, create a little moment of stillness amidst a lot of chaos or a lot of stress. And so if a client is just, if it's been 5-10 minutes and I haven't had a chance to jump in yet, I might say something like, I just want to make sure that I'm getting everything you're sharing with me and that I'm understanding it. Would it be okay if I kind of summarize some of the things you've shared with me so far? And this can bring awareness not only to the client, but to me as the coach, where I have a better understanding of what they've said, because we know it's hard to retain information sometimes when someone's been talking for a long time. It's hard to retain everything that was said, and so I want to make sure I get a good snapshot of all of that. So to review, there's 4 different OARS skills that are part of motivational interviewing: open questions, affirmations, reflections, and summaries. And they all are very helpful in steering the conversation and sort of rowing down the river together in this collaborative framework that we use in motivational interviewing that really equips people to change, and not to change in a way that's very directive where I'm doing the work, but I'm really letting them steer things and giving the client autonomy And I'm just here as a guide. I'm just here saying, hey, look, check that out. That's cool. Oh, look, there's a grizzly bear feeding on salmon on the side of the river here. So that's essentially what the OARS skills are. And hopefully this was useful to you. If you liked it, give us a like, and would love if you'd like to subscribe to our channel and learn more about what we do, we'd love to have you as part of our community. So anyway, have a wonderful day, guys, and I hope these skills can be useful to you.